In this latest episode, we're going to talk about Javon Hargrave. We're also going to talk about the Raiders trying to get it done the Patriots way. So let's start with Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave was a free agent this offseason. The team that stepped up and signed him was the 49ers. I think Javon Hargrave was the top defender available in free agency. I think he was the one guy that could go to a defense and transform them into something different. So the fact that the 49ers got him, a team that was already dominant on the defensive side of the ball, I think this is huge for the 49ers. You have Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave right next to each other. Javon Hargrave is going to blow up the A and B gaps. He's going to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. So Nick Bosa is actually going to get some cleanup sacks this year. Usually the quarterback is evading Nick Bosa's pursuit, and the other guys get cleanup sacks because the quarterback gets flushed out of the pocket away from Nick Bosa. Well, now with Javon Hargrave there, the quarterback's going to get flushed right towards Nick Bosa a lot of the time, and that's going to allow Nick Bosa to clean up some sacks. Remember, he was already, a 20-sack player without Javon Hargrave there. We could see Nick Bosa break the sack record with Javon Hargrave there. Then you look at Javon Hargrave alone, he's going to bull rush some defenders, get in the offensive backfield, disengage the block, be right in the quarterback's face, or he's going to blow up the run. He's going to come down the line of scrimmage, get in the backfield, and blow some runs up. He's so good at obliterating blocks. He always pushes that offensive guard or that offensive tackle right into the quarterback's lap because he's just such a physical guy at the line of scrimmage, has a strong punch, can bull rush. That's who Javon Hargrave is. He's a physical player. So you have a 49ers defense that's already loaded with talent, and everybody on that defense is going to be better with Javon Hargrave. Stop and think about that. I mean, they're going to be just so loaded with talent on the defensive side of the ball. I think this is the year that the 49ers could take the next step because, you take Javon Hargrave away from the Eagles. The Eagles are an NFC team. The 49ers are an NFC team. So you swing them from the Eagles to the 49ers. Some of the luck he had with the Eagles might come over to the 49ers. Remember, he went to the Super Bowl last year. So maybe the 49ers can go to the Super Bowl this year too. I could see that happening just because they're going to be so good on the defensive side of the ball. You're not going to be able to stop these guys. They're going to be physical. They're going to beat you up. They're going to wear you down, and that's going to be it because they just have so many big-time players on that defense. You got Fred Warner, Eric Armstead. I mean, those guys are all going to be better with Javon Hargrave there just because they're going to be so tough at the line of scrimmage. That defensive front is going to make sure that the offensive line can't win at the line of scrimmage. The pocket's going to be collapsing. I mean, these quarterbacks are going to be running for their lives when they play the 49ers. That's just the way it's going to go because they're just too physical on the defense side of the ball. Javon Hargrave took them to another level though. You're not going to be able to match up with all these guys. Teams were having trouble last year. Now you add Javon Hargrave to everything, it's over. Stick a fork in these offensive lines because they're not going to be able to, they're going to be outgunned, so to say. They're not going to have enough firepower to go against that 49ers defense. And the 49ers are seriously going to be in the running to have the best defense in the National Football League. You can lock that in. It's a lock. They're going to have the best defense in the National Football League. Anytime you have a defense like that, it's going to be suffocating for teams. Give John Lynch some credit because he was a great defender when he was with the Buccaneers. He's seen how the Buccaneers were successful with Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice. He decides to emulate that success with the 49ers. What's it do? It turns the 49ers into a perennial powerhouse. They're always in the hunt for Super Bowls. I think this is the year where they could actually take that next step, really maybe get it done this year because of what they've done on the defensive side of the ball, because they brought in Javon Hargrave. It was the splash they needed to make. It was the one guy they needed to sign. Nick Bosa is super happy about it. I mean, they know, everybody in that locker room knows that they have a defense that's capable of winning a Super Bowl. That's what John Lynch needed to do as a general manager because Kyle Shanahan's going to handle the offense. We all know that. That's where we're at with the 49ers. They're looking really good. I could see them maybe winning the Super Bowl this year and finally, getting it done. The other story we have is the Raiders trying to get it done the Patriots way. So the Raiders signed Josh McDaniels 2 years ago to be their head coach. And Josh McDaniels leads the Patriots to be the Raiders head coach. Remember, he was the Broncos coach in the past, had success a little bit, and then came crashing back to earth, was never the same, lost his job, went back to the Patriots, then gets the Raiders job. Well, there's no going back to the Patriots now because Bill O'Brien has the offensive coordinator job for the Patriots. So it's sink or swim for Josh McDaniels. So what's he do? He goes all in on the Patriots way. He signs Jacoby Myers. He signs Jimmy Garoppolo. Josh McDaniels is from the Patriots too. They're going all in on the Patriots way. Now, a lot of times these spinoffs haven't been successful. Matt Patricia, Romeo Crennel, those guys struggled. So Josh McDaniels is trying to be the guy that actually works out doing it the Patriots way on his own. I know Bill O'Brien had some success, but no one's really been too successful. Josh McDaniels is trying to buck the trend. The other thing that the 49ers, the Raiders are doing is, they're trying to get all these players that are on the same page. They all were on the Patriots at one time. They all worked under Josh McDaniels at one time. They all understand the playbook. There's less of a learning curve because these guys were all in the Patriots offense at one time. So they're trying to cut down on the learning curve so that they can pick up right where they left off and hit the ground running. That's one of the reasons you go with the Patriots way and the Patriots approach, just because, they have something that has already been worked on. So it's not just starting from scratch. It's starting from their past experience that they all have with each other. That's why Jacoby Myers was brought in. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo was brought in. Now, it's a tough division. You got the Chiefs and the Chargers who are really, really good right now. It's going to be tough to beat them. But can the Raiders at least be successful? Can they at least have a winning team, a winning record? Can they sneak in on a wild card and get into the playoffs? Those are the answers that we need to find out later on down the line, because Mark Davis isn't very patient. He wants Josh McDaniels to have success right now. He thought that last year wasn't a success. He thought it was a waste of time. He thought that the Raiders should have been in better shape considering where they were at with John Gruden. That's why we need to see the Raiders get back to winning, at least have a winning record, turn that corner, and put some more wins in the win column. That's how you keep the man upstairs happy. It didn't work out this past year. We're going to see. Can they all tap into their old Patriots experience and actually make something out of this? Go with the Raiders, because that's what they need to, all save their jobs, so to say, because if Josh McDaniels gets fired, we might see someone else come in and start shaking things up. And, Devontae Adams is going to stay, but, Jimmy Garoppolo, he would probably be on his way out. Jacoby Myers, that's 50-50. It could go either way. So Josh McDaniels, Jimmy Garoppolo, those guys have the most riding on the line. They have to have success this year. So Josh McDaniels basically hitched his wagon to Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to see if Jimmy Garoppolo can bring his winning ways with him to the Raiders. Remember, the 49ers weren't winning that many games until Jimmy Garoppolo got there. Jimmy Garoppolo arrives in that trade from the Patriots. The 49ers start winning a bunch of football games with Jimmy Garoppolo. Can Jimmy Garoppolo bring some of his winning ways with him to the Raiders? That's what the Raiders are hoping for. He's a proven winner in this National Football League. He's been more of a winner than Derek Carr has been. Derek Carr has been a good stats guy, but Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten to Super Bowls. So gotten to a Super Bowl, I should say. So he also went on another deep run with the 49ers. So he's a guy that, went on two deep playoff runs. Derek Carr hasn't had that kind of success in terms of winning. Derek Carr has been more of a stats guy. So the Jimmy Garoppolo thing's about getting a proven winner in there and a guy that they believe as long as he can stay healthy, he's going to do good things. That's the thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not a matter of he can play or not. It's a matter of if he can stay healthy. Jimmy Garoppolo has to stay healthy or the Raiders are going to be in trouble. That's the thing, you got to keep an eye on with him. But, we're going to see. Can the Raiders get it done the Patriots way? Most of these spinoffs haven't been that successful. The Raiders are trying to be the ones that actually get it done. So keep an eye on that with the Raiders. I'm John Kuzma. That's all I got. I'm signing off.